Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people are asking for a non-spoiler version of everything to be ready for 7.2, as there's a general feeling, and I agree with it, that 7.2 isn't actually that far away. I think they're going to launch 7.2 pretty goddamn soon. Why? People are running out of things to do on live. If you're not a raider, there's certainly sort of barriers starting to pop up now, and 7.2 has huge elongations in content coming with it, so it's likely 7.2 is around the corner. So, spoiler free, what do you need for 7.2 and what can you start working on right now? Firstly is class hall resources. You're going to want to get your class hall campaign done on at least your main character, so that should mean that you have the 3 relics in your weapon. That's how you know. And on top of that, you're going to want to get yourself 60,000 class hall resources, so you can go to your class hall upgrades and get the next 2 upgrades. The first one is going to cost you 20,000 class hall resources, but it only takes an hour. The next one takes a further 30,000 resources, and that one is going to take 2 weeks. This is going to reward you with the dual relics, the relics that give you 2 traits in your character. Pretty goddamn important to have those. You're going to want to get them started immediately. So an hour after 7.2 launches, you should be able to start on the 14-day one. So get that started. Why an extra 10,000 then, Preacher? Because your artifact knowledge level is lifting as well. It now goes up to 40, which means you'll be dumping some resources into getting the artifact research undergoing again. On top of that, you still want to have some resources left over so you can actually run missions and stuff. A lot of the stuff that's coming with new content is going to involve some extra missions that will only come available for a very limited time on your scouting map, so that's something to bear in mind as well. The next thing you're going to do is open up the 35 traits on your weapon. Get those. Now, this is weapon specific. The reason you want to do this, even on alts, if you can get it done, is once you have the 35th trait and you come up to the quest involving your artifact weapon, is if you only have the bare minimum 35, you don't have 54, I'm talking you just got over to the powered spellblade, then, or whatever your equivalent is, I should say, you're going to get a huge damage boost. And the reason that's going to happen is it's going to make your weapon equivalent as if you had 54 traits. It's if you have any more AP than that. I just want to be absolutely clear on this. If you have 54 traits right now, you're going to get all that AP refunded so you can spend it into new traits, but you will not lose power. You will not lose strength, okay? Your character will not become weaker. Vice versa, in order for that to work, anybody who only has 35 traits, once they do the quest, and it is a quest to unlock all this extra stuff in your artifact weapon, you are going to get a huge damage boost. You're going to get a 14.5% damage boost, healing boost, whatever your equivalent is. Okay, so it brings everybody level pegging again. Does that mean that you should stop getting AP on live? That's entirely down to you, as artifact knowledge is going to increase. So it's certainly not the most efficient thing to do, but what I will say is we don't know when 7.2 is coming. There's plenty of good AP out there that isn't that expensive or that tedious to get, and on top of that, you're going to get all that AP back, okay? It's going to be given back to you. Anything you invest into your weapon after the 35th trait is going to come back to you in raw artifact power, so you can buy traits on the first day. If you have 54 traits, you're going to be able to buy 4 of the new traits. So you can see here, I bought like an extra talent in Burning Gaze, I bought an extra one in Pyroclasmic Paranoia, and I bought one over here, which is increase your damage by 10% and stamina by 25%. All right. So I believe this is a placeholder, or it's just the point to replace the 54. Either way, it's worth getting that AP invested so you can unlock this in day 1, okay? Now, again, I want to remind you, this is per weapon. Per weapon. In order to upgrade your artifact weapons to the newer 7.2 versions, you have to do a quest. That quest only drops once you have the 35th trait, okay? It will not drop before that. So there's a quest to get your fire weapon upgraded. If I was a mage, it's also a quest to do the frost weapon. There's also a quest to do the arcane weapon, okay? So they're all individually done. So if you want something to work on, you're not bothered about just extending the amount of artifact power into your weapons, then get your other specs done, because you'll get a nice damage boost, okay? Those are the bare minimum things you need to do, guys. The real bare minimum things you need to do. Get your class hall campaign finished and get 60,000 resources banked, and make sure that your weapon is around about 35 so you can get started on day 1, okay? The extra 10,000, again, going towards the missions, extra artifact research, all that kind of stuff that you're going to be doing on the launch day of 7.2. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.